Yo, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to the ITG Gamecast. We are back each and every week. You can join us live Monday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, over on our YouTube channel, Inside the Game Official, our Twitch channel, the official ITG. I think we're backwards over there for some reason. We gotta get that sorted out maybe one of these days. And then, of course,
one day.
Yeah, of course, you can always catch it later over on our YouTube channel, our website, insidethegame.ca. No, we just changed that, actually, to itgtv.com. That's right. A lot of changes happening over here, good boys. It was the weekend, though. How was everybody's weekend? Scott, what you do on the weekend? Anything?
Not really anything memorable. I kind of lost my whole time to one of the review games, and it was a great time, but I'll leave it at that.
Fair enough, fair enough. What about you, Steve?
Suddenly
Anything?
it's Monday.
Yeah, right.
Oh, almost same as Scott. Just had a bit of me weekend. Just did what I want to do. Watch a bit of TV. Put a lot of hours into the game we're reviewing.
Yeah.
Well, we did a preview last week, and obviously playing another game just sort of in between. Bit of Senua's the Hellblade.
Yeah.
Bit more of that.
So you're getting ready for the sequel then? Is that what you're doing?
I've got a feeling I'm near the end. I've got a.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's one of these games I've been picking at for like probably 3-4 years. And like I said, it's one of these games that I get so far and I get stuck on a puzzle. And it's not like I give up too easy. I do give it like a good 2-3 hours.
Yeah.
Drop it, come back the next day. Then if I can't do it, it's like, take it off, play something else. And then every now and then I think, oh, I fancy this one. Put it back on the console. And then all of a sudden, I get past the bit I was stuck on.
Yeah.
And I'm good to go again. And I'm enjoying it. It's a deep story though. Very heavily narrative of psychosis and that kind of thing. But it's done good. It's done really well.
Cool. Yeah, I've only heard good things about it. So when we get into hopefully reviewing the sequel, we'll be able to talk about that as well, right? So that'd be cool too. Sorry.
And that was your weekend.
My weekend was good. Yeah. What did we do? Saturday. So I left bright and early Saturday morning, like 10 in the morning. We went out. Our little guy has soccer, so we took him to soccer. And then by the time we got home, it was like almost 5 o'clock. It felt like, right? Like the whole day was just poof. It was gone. We met up with friends for lunch and stuff. It was a good time. We had a good time. We went to a chocolate store. I dropped $70 on like chocolate and a thing of coffee. Man, oh man, the chocolate is so good though, and so is the coffee. It was worth every penny. It was awesome. But
you got to indulge once in a while.
I avoid the fudge place in the mall for that reason.
Yeah, exactly. Boys, we have a big show today. As normally we talk about, kind of in and outs, what we're playing. We might get to what we're playing. We'll be talking about that maybe later at the end of the show. But there's a big topic of the show because Jeff Keighley revealed last week Summer Game Pass makes its return on June 7th. So I thought, let's play a game. I want to predict 10 things each from each of us. What we think will be coming as a big reveal or something of the sort that you expect to see at Summer Game Fest. And in just 3 months' time, 3 months, that is it. Just in 3 months. Yeah. Can you believe it? It's only 3 months away. Like, that's going to be over in a blink of an eye. Next thing you know, it's going to be Summer Game Fest already. So we will come back to our predictions and crown a winner. The one with the most predictions correct will be the winner of that. I thought it'd be cool, something a little different to do for us over here at ITG. Something to goof around. We love hanging out and predicting. This is what we do all the time on the Daily Show, right? We just kind of go in and give our thoughts and then, our opinions on things. And sometimes we do the predictions. So I thought, why not carry this over to the Gamecast and see what we can do here? So, who would like to start?
I think you should start, Drew.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Because then I could cross all the ones that you pick off my list.
Well, so we're going to go around the table. We're going to go around. So 1 round, I'll go, Scott goes, Steve, you will go, and then we'll go backwards. And Steve, you will go, Scott go, I will go last.
Yep.
Okay. So I'll start off then. So I made a list. I've got like 13. We said 10 just to have a cap. But then somebody's going to take one of our predictions. I guarantee it's going to happen, right? So I'm like, okay. So it's like, do I want to come out strong or do I want to come out safe? I think is the biggest. Like, how do you start off, right? To make sure that you're...
That's what I'm thinking.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. So here's what I'm thinking. This is what I'm thinking. It's been a long time since we heard of this studio. They haven't done anything in quite a while. And everybody was begging for a sequel, but they, over at PlayStation, said no. So I'm starting off with a PlayStation Studio. Because why? because PlayStation has nothing first party this year, but I think they have a lot cooking and a lot to talk about, which then brings in Ben Studios' next game. I think Ben comes to the table Summer Game Fest to show us what they've been working on. So, Days Gone was 5 years ago. So they've been cooking something up, right? Whether it's Siphon Filter, I don't know. There's rumors, right? There's rumors of the Siphon Filter coming back. Maybe that is. Oh, man, I should have put that in my prediction. Maybe all right, I changed it up. So not only will they come with their next game, but it will be a Siphon Filter game. That's my prediction. Number one, I'm starting off strong. Going in, Siphon Filter from Ben Studios. They've been quiet for so long. I think it's time for them to make a big splash and make a big return. And how do you do that? You do that by going with one of your best IPs from the studio. That's where I'm kicking things off.
That's a great idea.
That's a good pick. I didn't even have that one.
That was on my list.
Was it? Okay. So what's your number one then there, Scott?
Well, I'm going to pick something just as... well, we'll say it's a low-hanging fruit. This is kind of an easy one. It was kind of handed to us, but that is Marvel's Wolverine. I think this will be the actual opportunity for Insomniac to take control back of the narrative and how they want to let that information out, because Insomniac was subject to a leak, which is more accurately called a theft in this case. And that was in December, just the end of last year. And that really, ruined, it shuffled their cards, we could say, and really changed plans up. So I'm wondering if this will be the kind of clarity that we need now on Sony's end. Hey, look, we had an issue, but here's our plan moving forward. We had to work some things around a little bit, but Wolverine, everybody knows, everybody loves Wolverine, and that's a very strong, another strong title out of Insomniac. Do they ever miss?
No. They don't, right? It's that simple. They don't miss. They've always been on fire as far as I'm concerned, and I think they'll only continue to do that. It's funny because we heard rumors, right, that it's come out next year. Right now, Insomniac doesn't have anything. There's speculation and rumors floating around of Spider-Man 2 DLC.
Yeah.
Which, I didn't even predict that one yet. I might have to come back around. But yeah, I think, dude, that's a safe bet. I think we're ready to see something out of Insomniac, aren't we?
Yeah,
I think so. And I like the idea of recapturing kind of their own, how they want to release the information.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good one, Scott. I can see that one working very well at Summer Game Fest. Yeah. All right, Scott or Steve, what do you have? What are you up to?
Oh, one of my predictions is, I'm looking forward to this one actually. It's by Telltale Games, and it's The Wolf Amongst Us 2.
Oh,
that's a great pick.
Oh, I almost forgot about that.
I had to do some research because, like I said, it's like, what's coming out this year? And I think it's supposed to be released this year, but it got delayed, and we've not heard anything so far. So I think it'd be kind of cool if they come in or actually have a date on it this time.
Yeah, because didn't Jeff have something last year at Summer Game Fest with the team at Wolf Among Us, right? With Telltale, say, hey, we are working on it. They're in this like virtual production setup, and they're at the bar. I was like, oh, this is so cool. And then, man, I completely forgot about that one altogether. Yeah. Completely forgot. I'm like, it just vanished. Did you guys ever finish the first one?
No.
I thought I did.
I never finished. I played quite a bit of it, but I never finished the first one. But I like the narrative games anyhow. So, like The Expanse and that kind of thing. So I'm looking forward to this one because I like that kind of the mixture of humans and
the fairy tale world. It's
characters.
It's so cool
living together.
Yeah. Steve, do you think they give us episodic, or do you think they go like, here's the full game? Because we saw at one point, right? Everything's been episodic at Telltale. And sometimes that works. Sometimes I feel that it doesn't. And it just prevents you from kind of continuing on your experience, because what happens is they drop the first episode, you're like, you're all in, and then you finish that, and you're like, oh man, if I could just keep going. But instead,
that's what happened to me.
Then you have to wait, right? So then you bounce.
I think that was our issues. That was our issues with The Expanse. We had to wait each month for the next chapter to come out, and it started off strong, but then time the next one come out, we're already on something else, and it's and it's hard to get back into something once you have to recap yourself on what happened to the story in the first one.
Yeah, it's the Netflix conditioning. We're all expecting to just binge whatever we can find, and that's why I want all the episodes together all at once.
Yeah.
With I think episode 5 I trailed off and then never came back to it, and that's painful because right at the end even.
Oh man, you were right there. Like you were about
Not sure what I was thinking.
Yeah, me either.
Maybe I left it for a second playthrough. It's time.
All right, Steve, you're back for round 2. What are you picking for your next one?
I'm actually, since the film has only just come out, I'm actually going for the June game.
Oh.
It's an MMO, apparently.
Yes, it is. I'm very interested in this one. It's a survival game, right? Coming out of the team that brought us Conan. So Funcom, they're coming with this one, and it looks incredible, doesn't it?
It does. It looks. This one looks pretty cool. So I'm kind of looking forward to this one as well. And like I said, I've not seen the second film, but I've seen the first one.
Yeah.
And if it's done good, this should be a cool game.
So okay, so let me ask you, what are you predicting? That we see the game, we see a release date? Like, what do you?
Yeah, I think both. I've got a feeling it's just been going on for quite a bit now. Like the actual June game itself. I've seen little snippets here and there. So I wondered if it is complete and there could be a date.
All right, so you're expecting to see a gameplay trailer and a release date.
I would have thought they would have done, especially when the film's just dropped. So it'd be cool while it's still hot to get this game out now, while everyone's still fresh in their memory of watching the first one, and now the second one, and then get into the game.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Fair enough. Scott, back to you, buddy. What's your second round?
I'm going to clean up my Sony predictions. You had killed the third of 3. I'm going to go with Gorilla. Gorilla in this case. The last release was, of course, Horizon Call of the Mountain, and that was in 2023, alongside with Fire Sprite.
Yeah.
I don't believe Fire Sprite is much of a studio, or if they even exist anymore, actually.
They still exist, but they're just a little lighter than usual.
We do know, or at least we were told at some point, there was a Horizon Online project being worked on.
Yeah.
And that's the one that sticks out to me because I think it could really work. Just the way that Horizon is laid out, the different tribes, the different kind of geographies, you could really make that work well. And it could be the games as a service thing. So that might be what Sony is trying to do if it remained, if it survived that calling of live service games. There is also the unnamed Horizon project, and that's the only titling I could find on it. Yeah. But that is just that another Horizon game. I think that's probably a pretty safe bet.
No, for sure.
Whether we'll hear about it this year or not is kind of another thing, but I'm hoping that just some sort of information on either of the two, so we can combine those two. Really, it's what is Guerrilla working on right now? That's all I want to know.
Yeah, so you're hoping for some kind of teaser.
Yeah, something that, hey, Horizon Online was a thing. It's real and it's still happening. That would more than satisfy me.
That's fair.
I mean, it's possible they could. Well, they're talking about a trilogy anyhow, the Horizon series in the first place.
Absolutely.
Because of the
I don't think they're ready though to reveal the trilogy. I think they're going to reveal their other project first. I just don't know if we see it this year. I don't know if they're that far along.
Unless you get a cinematic or something, and everyone goes,
logo.
That looks cool. Yeah.
Oh, the logo treatment hurts.
Yeah, don't do that, Don't do that. Okay. I'm caught in a couple of different places here. So I think, which way do I want to go? Which way do I want to go? We will see. I'm going to do it. I think we'll see Fable this year.
Okay.
I think so too, because I'm going to throw it off the list.
Yeah. So I think we see another trailer. I don't think we get a release date, though. I don't think they're ready.
No.
I don't think they're ready to actually finalize that. I think it's far enough along, but I think we get more gameplay. We saw the first gameplay last year, and it had a quite the mixture of reactions. Is that gameplay? Yeah. Is that not gameplay? They actually had to confirm it was gameplay. So I think this year they want to come out and say, hey, look, this is what you're going to get into, and have a much more focus on the gameplay experience of what we'll be playing to showcase us, to get us ready for next year. I think they come out, and then next year's when we actually get it, but I don't think they hold us to a release date. So that's my number 2. Going in.
Can I follow that up with a question? What about the initiative?
Oh, that's
Perfect Dark reboot. Was
a,
also teased at about the same time. I think that was 2018.
Yep. That's fair. It's fair enough. So honestly, here's the thing. This is why I don't think we will see a release date for Fable, is because I think they had to go back to the drawing board a couple times, right?
Oh.
I think they had a vision and it didn't quite hit. Just don't forget, this is Playground Games, and Playground Games makes what? They make Forza Horizon. They don't make an action adventure RPG, right? Like, that's not their style. So for them, I think they have to take a little bit longer to make sure that they don't mess up the fan base when it comes to Fable. There is a huge following, right? What do you think of Fable? You think of Xbox, right? Xbox, you think of Fable.
Yeah.
It's just that they're cohesive. Like, they just go together. It's like peanut butter and jelly. So how can you screw that up, right? Well, you put paprika on it, and then that just ruins everything. So nobody wants that kind of mixture. So they have to make sure that they take their time and have it ready to go. So yeah, I don't think we get the release date. But Scott, that's a valid point though when you're talking about Perfect Dark. That's not on my list, and I'm not going to keep it. I'm not even going to take it from you. You can have that one.
Do you think Fable will be an Xbox exclusive?
Yes.
Or do you think they might hand it over to the competitors?
Oh, 1 year later, perhaps?
I don't think so. I think they're going to keep it like Master Chief, right? They want to keep the Halo brand to Xbox, and I think they want to keep the Fable brand to Xbox as well, so that they can rebuild that fan base, because everybody who played Fable back in the day will be all over this game, right?
Yeah.
And then welcoming new players as well will help grow that again. So yeah, no, I don't think that's something you want to mess with.
That Fable 1 remaster was done, and if you haven't played it recently, I have to recommend playing it once again, because that game it ages like wine. Every time I play it, every decade later, it gets better.
Fair enough. Here's my next one. I think we get Assassin's Creed Red gameplay first. World premiere gameplay trailer.
World premiere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think we get a world premiere gameplay of Assassin's Creed Red, because we have literally heard next to nothing.
Isn't there another Assassin's Creed? Isn't there two? Is there another one called Hex or something?
Hexy, yeah.
Hexy is supposed to be next year.
Oh, okay.
So we see Red. Red's supposed to be coming this year, but Ubisoft has been like tight-lipped on this, and I am shocked. We have seen nothing on it, right? Don't forget, we're also getting Outlaws this year. We're supposed to be getting Star Wars Outlaws, which is, I'm like, holy. So you're going to get that as well as Assassin's Creed Red. These are going to be two massive titles out of Ubisoft this year.
I'm so worried. I'm so worried about Outlaws.
I'm so excited. So excited.
After Battlefront 2 and that fiasco, I know it's entirely different. It's an entirely different situation, companies and whatever. I'm just so afraid of Star Wars now.
Which is fair. Absolutely fair. But yeah, that's my prediction. We get a world premiere Assassin's Creed Red gameplay trailer. We get to see our assassins in feudal Japan doing their magic, doing the stealth. Oh man, I can't. Woo! I cannot wait to see this game. I'm so pumped. Scott, what's your next one?
Well, we're not going to get a Shinobi game, so I think Assassin's Creed Red is going to be the closest we get to that. But sticking with the Xbox side of things, there's something that's being worked on by People Can Fly, and that is known as Project Maverick right now. And People Can Fly did Outriders. They also did Gears of War Judgment, which is something I didn't actually know until looking into it a little further. And so this may be Gears of War 6. Gears of War 5 came out in September of 2019, which is so long ago now. It's incredible because it's blurred right by. It feels like it was 2 weeks ago. But at the same time, when's the last time you sat down and really played some good Gears? It does feel like that was quite a while ago. I could go back to Gears, is what I'm saying. It would be very welcome. And I think we're missing that kind of chunky. I think we're missing that kind of chunky shooter, and People Can Fly kind of proved their mettle with Outriders. As much as that didn't quite speak to me as much as it did to you, we put them in the seat of Gears of War, and I think that's where it pulls me back.
Okay, so if you think they're working on Gears, what's Coalition doing? Because they're the Gears studio.
Another great question. I had considered that. The Coalition last did The Matrix Awakens, but that was in 2021. and that was across the aisle. You can play that on PlayStation 5 as well. I don't think there was ever really an intent to do anything with the Matrix. It was just a tech demo.
Right.
But okay,
Yeah,
you've proved you can work with that tech. Let's see you do it.
So you think, man, can you imagine if they switched it up? They let Coalition get away from Gears, do something else. I think, from what I can remember, if I heard correctly, is that People Can Fly are working on a new IP with Xbox. I could be wrong.
I think that's what Maverick is.
So then, okay. So, So you think we're getting a new Gears out of them, or you think we're getting a Gears like out of them?
Yeah, perhaps it's my bias that I want it to be Gears, but it could very well easily be at Outriders too.
No. Yeah, as much as I'd love that, I don't think that's going to happen. But, all right.
I didn't finish that story. I'm not sure if it was begging for a sequel.
Oh, man. It set itself up. Like, there's opportunity. I hung out with the devs, played along with them. I had so much fun. Hung out with the devs. We did their roguelike mode and stuff like that. It was awesome. Steve, what's your next prediction?
I picked this one, but then I was just reading a little bit more in between, and I'm not sure if it's still going to happen, but it would have been Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin.
Oh,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
That was a dark kind of single player.
Yeah.
But obviously it was owned by Embracer.
Oh, no.
Black Forest Games. Yeah. Which was to do with the layoffs. So I'm not sure if we're going to see anything of this one this year coming out.
Yeah.
But I'm going to have an alternative, and I'm going to say, can I say an alternative just in case?
Okay. So here's the thing. Okay. So let's so you want to predict Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but you don't think it's actually going to happen.
No.
It's a hopeful wish.
It's a hopeful wish.
I went, yeah, I think because it was, we saw trailers last year and everything like that, and it looks really cool, kind of like a Batman style this time, which I kind of like. But then because of all the layoffs and everything like that from the studios, and like I said, they had to drop 50% of their staff. It's debatable whether it's going to get shelved or if it's still going to go on.
So I would say that was probably not likely, but it's up to you. Yeah, you could just move on to the other one and say that's your prediction. As much as you're hopeful for Ronin, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Ronin, it's probably unlikely, that's for sure. So what's your other one then? And to replace that one, we'll say.
Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell remake.
Oh, man. I thought of it. I thought of that too.
Talk about wishful thinking.
Well, we might have more chance of seeing this one than Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, so to speak.
Banking a lot on Ubisoft this year already, eh? It's dude, that's a fantastic pick. I am very curious to see if we'll see anything. I don't know.
That's gonna erupt if they do a trailer, and then as soon as you see the green night vision goggles, it was
yeah.
I'm done. I'm out of here. That's all I want to see.
I hope you are 100% on that one. I would love to see anything that they're working on over at Ubisoft when it comes to Splinter Cell. We've been asking for a Splinter Cell of Sam Fisher experience for years. So the fact that they're actually working on a remake has us excited. Whether or not we see it this year, I think we're just a little too early. But that's a good prediction.
I don't think Michael Ironside wants to do it. I think last I had heard something, he was kind of done with that role in general, which hurts. But that is the natural progression of things. But if it's Splinter Cell, I don't even care if we're Sarah Fisher. It really doesn't matter to me. I'll be Wilkes and play that game as long as it's the same action that stealth action redefined, I believe.
Yeah. Well, what about what's your next one there, Steve-O?
I've got a prediction that I've got a feeling that we might get a Superman or Wonder Woman game.
So right now,
Warner Brothers
is working on a Wonder Woman game. So do you think we'll see it here?
It's I think we could do. Didn't we see something last year of when she had the whip that she has?
It was almost like seeing a splash screen of the Wonder Woman logo, right? Like that's basically almost like what it was. So then, do you think we actually see more on it this year?
I think we would.
That'd be cool.
I mean, I've read that there's things going out that there could be a Superman game, and there's been people messing around, but I don't know if it's just modders messing around with Unreal Engine 5, and it looks really cool. But at the end of the day, is Warner Brothers needs to bring something out, or do you know what I mean? That you've had Suicide Squad, that was okay, so they really need something again to sort of get the trust in the people again.
Absolutely, Steve. You are 100% on that one, my friend. Here's the thing I heard today was terrifying. You ready for this? They're getting help from the team that worked on Gotham Knights.
Oh, no.
So, does that put us into another line of Suicide Squad? I don't know. But, yeah, we'll see if we see more Wonder Woman. I would like to see. I want to see more. Definitely interested, right? But time will tell. Yeah, I don't know. Very curious. Scott, what's your next one, buddy?
Oh, well, I'm hung up on the idea of just a splash screen and the tease that was, and that's Metroid Prime 4. I think now is the right time to see Metroid Prime 4.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why. It's been a long, long time. I think it was 2018 when we saw that splash screen. Oh, big deal. I was excited, no doubt. A lot of other people were too, but we have seen zero since then. But we do know it's kind of an open secret that the Switch 2, the Super Switch, which I will call it from now on, it's supposed to be coming this year.
Yeah.
And if we're going to see it, the idea is it's probably going to be holiday season. I think November is typical for Nintendo. And if that were the case, maybe this would be the time, right in the middle of the summer, we bring up the games that you're going to see it first on. Here's the launch title to come with the Switch 2. And I just mixed it up against. But the other thought is, well, that's Retro Studios. What's Retro Studios doing if they're not doing that? Could it be Donkey Kong? The last Donkey Kong that they were working on was Tropical Freeze. That was 2014.
Actually, I've got input for you, Scott, because I actually put the Switch as well, the reveal of the new Switch. And I've got a feeling you might see a Super Mario Odyssey sequel.
Oh, that would be nice. That would be nice to see.
I've read they're working on it, but no details yet. And that would be a cool game to release on the new Switch.
Oh, you've kind of tripped into my other prediction for the Switch, which is Smash Bros. 7. Will we ever see another Smash Bros? Smash Bros. Ultimate was supposed to be the last one, but they've said that about literally every Smash Brothers game since Melee, which was number 2. So this would be Smash 7, and one Masahiro Sakurai he's kind of the superstar behind the industry, or behind that property. I mean, and he recently, as recently as March of 2022, kind of announced that he's not doing video games exactly the same way anymore. He started doing YouTube channels and such, and trying to impart some of his knowledge, his learnings, and his experience into another generation. He's kind of raising a house of Sakurai here. And as much as he says that, and as much as he kind of plays shy with Nintendo, I bet you they'll pull him in for another one. Given that the Switch 2 is gonna be, it has to be soon. And I think that would be a perfect fit. If he's not doing that, we might see another Kirby. I think that's only a matter of time, but that's another Sakurai's favorite little pet project there. And Kirby, I don't remember when the last time this 2D Kirby game came out, but that might be the right time. 2D is kind of, it's back in vogue again. Let
me go back to the question of what is your prediction then, Scott? Because we went on a whole Nintendo fan rival there.
Oh, Smash Brothers.
Okay, so you think we're going to see another Smash Brothers?
Yeah.
Really?
And Metroid Prime 4 because it has to happen.
Okay, so you're calling them both. Interesting. Because here's my prediction. I don't think we see Nintendo there at all.
You think they'll left that direct?
I think they're going to wait for their own.
Direct.
Yep, exactly. And then they're going to reveal the Switch 2 on their own. I don't think Nintendo has a presence at Summer Game Fest. I think they don't want to be a part of that spotlight, so they can hold it all for themselves and not worry about what other things they're going to be up against, because Nintendo this year really doesn't have any first-party heavy hitters coming out, so they're going to hold back instead. So my prediction is that Nintendo isn't there at all. So, that's where I was at.
I think they're going to use it to prep for that launch window, and if that launch window happens to be at the beginning of 2025, we'll say, I think that still might line up with when to kind of let it out.
No, for sure.
When to drive up the hype. Hey, it's a marketing first step. what's coming down the line.
Granted, absolutely. My next prediction, besides the Nintendo not being there, is actually I think we gotta goof this up. Scott, I'm gonna kick it back over to you, and then we're gonna bounce around that way, and then we'll bounce around back, and then we'll flip it over and we'll keep bouncing around. So that was my prediction. Scott, we're gonna go right back to you now. What's your next prediction?
All right. Here's another, albeit low-hanging fruit here. Call of Duty Black Ops Gulf War. If we don't see the game, if it's not already out by now, or by the time Summer Games Fest happens, then I think we're going to have to see a little look inside of it. And I think Call of Duty, the development team's going to want to put that out in front of eyes, because they're going to say, hey, look, it's not the open combat missions of Modern Warfare 3. Hey, look, we listened to you. Here's the game that you wanted. And I think Summer Games Fest would be the longer time you could really give an expose.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be cool. Definitely interested to see what that one's all about too.
Yeah, there's already some rumors, leaks, and whatever. That's kind of why we know about it to begin with. But there's zombies, round-based zombies making a comeback. If they want to listen to feedback, that's a very good place to start.
Absolutely. Steve, what's your next prediction?
Oh, this one I'm excited about, because this I think would be a cool game for all of us, and it's by Avalanche Studios, and it's Contraband, and it's the heist game that is set in the 70s, my era.
There you go.
And it does look really cool. We saw a snippet, I think it was last year, and it looks cool. I'm looking forward to this one.
So you think we're going to see
kind of reminds me of
that? I think there'll be a date. Because we've already seen a trailer.
Cool.
What's that?
I can't think of much. I can't think of much about that game though. Contraband. It reminds me of Smuggler's Run, and that's kind of where my mind is dropped to when I think of it.
Yeah. All right. That's interesting. Scott, I'm gonna go. I had it further down my list. Do I go? Which way do I go? I think I'm gonna go this way instead. I predict Kojima shows up on stage to talk more about OD.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's his next project. That's where he's going. We are getting Death Stranding 2. We already know that's coming, right? That's already in the works. But you know, Kojima doesn't work on just one thing. He's got to have 4 or 5 projects on the go. So I think he comes out to give us a little bit more knowledge and reveal on whatever his partnership is with Xbox and OD, this next game that he's working on. So yeah, I think that's where it is. And now I'm going to kick it back into another prediction and say, I think we get a new IP out of PlayStation. I don't know what it is. I don't know who's working on it. But I think the PlayStation logo comes up when you get all the X's and O's and all the, the characters from Kratos to Aloy in that logo. And then studio reveal, and then a new game. Or, no, don't, let me back this up. We get the PlayStation logo. We get into the game, whatever this game is going to be. And then you get the studio name at the end. And then everybody erupts because it's probably Naughty Dog or something on that line, right? Like, that's where I'm kind of going is, I think, is Naughty Dog ready to reveal their next IP? Because they're working on something, right? Yeah. So I think, because PlayStation, again, no big first-party games this year, still has to get everybody pumped to see what is coming next year. Scott, I think you had a fantastic idea there with Wolverine. I think that is a fantastic pick, right? So, but what else did we get into for next year that leads us into 2025? Here's a new IP that we've been working on over at such and such studio. Get pumped. I think that's my
prediction. Studio is working on a new IP.
Yeah, but I picked Bend Studios to come up with their own thing. And I think the Siphon Filter. I don't think it's a new IP. I think it's one of their beloved IPs.
I think that's a safe bet as well.
Yeah, I hope so. But Steve, we're going to kick it back to you, and then we can get back into Scott for a double pick. What do you got?
Okay. IO Project 007.
Oh, there's another one. Steve's got a lot of these ones I'm forgetting about.
Yeah, because I was going from last year's of little snippets of that's supposed to be coming out this year or the year after. Right. So, but we've not seen any footage or anything yet. So it'd be nice if we actually had a trailer or a bit of game footage of what to expect, what it looks like. Is it going to be, Unreal Engine 5, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, what engines are they working on when they're with the Hitman franchise? Do we know? I'm trying to think of.
Was it their own?
I think it's their
It
own.
could have been.
Yeah.
It could be, but we see a lot of studios like we even see CD Projekt Red, that studio move over to Unreal Engine, right? But a lot of people want to move over and branch out and not have to worry about messing with their own engine and trying to figure that out when they have somebody to go to like Epic that they can work with and get that going. But IO is constantly on the hire right now for 007 and their next IP. So I think a nice little teaser would get fans pumped. I know I'd be pumped. I love IO. I think they're fantastic.
So yeah, it'd be definitely nice to see something on that kind of concept anyhow, the 007.
But yeah, good call, Steve. Good call. Scott, what's your next one, buddy?
I have a Project Iron, and I'm not sure exactly what that means yet, other than it is a third-person dark fantasy RPG. And this is being done by Mercury Stream and 505 Games. So these are the people who worked on, well, 505 is known for Alan Wake and The Control and that universe, and some of my favorite games. And then Mercury Stream comes after Metroid Dread. So Metroid Dread, again, part of this two-dimensional, is back in vogue, and I love it. But breaking away from that to do a third-person dark fantasy RPG, that could be the right balance. Dark anything on Nintendo's side is welcome in my books.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Huh? That's an interesting pick. I never even thought of that one. Well, Scott, you're in your round for 2. What are you going with this time?
I think we may have exhausted my picks.
Is that 10?
I think that might be 10 already. Now there's
I'm only at 7.
I began to say, and I'm not sure if I finished the point, but Retro Studio working on Donkey Kong Country. The last Donkey Kong Country was Tropical Freeze, and that was in 2014, a whole decade ago on Wii U. Now it was recently put, or not so recently, in 2018 it was moved over to the Switch, and that's where it got much more success. Because the game on Wii U was, well, it was not the place to launch it, and it didn't pick up many buys on top of that. So I think it might be the time for another Donkey Kong Country. And if we're lining up Nintendo for this theoretical new console, they're going to need some launch titles. And I think Donkey Kong would fit that. It's not Mario by name, but it's kind of in their first party lineup for sure.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm going to take the next one, and then we'll go to Steve, and then Steve will take 2, and we'll bounce back around. Where am I going to go from here? I'm thinking... I think we get the Ghost of Tsushima film tease.
Yes.
Summer Game Fest, right? We know they're working on it. I think they tease us lightly. Nothing too heavy, just to say, yes, you know it's coming. This is what it's going to look like. Give us a bit of an art style, the direction of what the film will be. And then, like, very, very minimal. Like, you'll see the character's face, a little bit of the environment, and then the splash screen of the trailer, like the title, and then that's it. Like, I mean, like 30 seconds, like not even barely anything, but just enough to go, and that is it.
Yeah, leave you hanging.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I think that's where we go from there.
You reminded me of another, just off the top of my head, a prediction. Halo Season 3. Originally, I thought of Last of Us Season 3, and that would also be a great announcement.
Yeah, fair enough.
Much better than a Halo announcement, in my opinion. But
yeah. All right, Steve, we're going to kick it over to you, buddy. I'm just going to double check. Let's see where we're at here. Hang on. I'm going to go. So I did Ben Studio's prediction. I did the Fable prediction. I did Assassin's Creed. I did PlayStation new IP. I did the Nintendo, nowhere to be found. And then Ghost of Tsushima. That puts me at 6. Steve, where are you at? You're at 6 right now?
I thought it was a little bit more, but I could be wrong.
Am I missing
I've
one?
got quite a few crossed.
You crossed a couple off because I picked some of them too, right?
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm currently at 6. But what's your next one there, Steve?
Ooh, I wonder if we get a reveal or a preview of a new Tomb Raider game.
Oh.
Crystal Dynamics have been working on Tomb Raider 4.
Yeah.
And they've already done the remasters of the earlier ones.
Mm-hmm.
So I wondered if we might get a little snippet or a cinematic trailer of possibly a new Tomb Raider game. by Crystal Dynamics.
No, absolutely. I think that's a great pick. We do know that they are working on something, right? So this might be a good time to actually reveal it. The only problem is that they're still owned by Embracer. But I wonder if is this what Embracer's hanging on to? Is Crystal to hopefully bring them out of the hole with a new Tomb Raider game? Like, does Tomb Raider have the legs to push enough units, you guys think?
It's hard to say.
It's going to go
a few times.
It's going to go with the diehard fans that grew up with Lara Croft. But with so many like adventure games coming out, like you're going to have the new Indiana Jones one coming out soon.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously you got Nathan Drake as well and all the Uncharted series. Oh, yeah. So is it going to be anything new and exciting, or is it just going to be the same old?
That's
just stick with something that you know. As long as the story is strong, as long as it's got a good narrative story to back it all up, then it'll be a fun game regardless.
No, fair enough. Huh,
I just remembered something. We can add this to my predictions because I think it's likely, or at least I hope so. Again, Skate 4. When's the last time we heard about Skate? Because I thought it was revitalized. There was somebody working on it, and I can't recall the companies now, and that's what's going to bug me for the rest of the night. It's EA somewhere, but
who is working on that?
I'm wondering if it's if it's in the oven or if it's on the shelf.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So
I think
just any sort of reveal to that degree would be great. Like, hey, remember this? We're still working on it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think Skate has some major legs with him still, right? People are looking for that Tony Hawk feel, that Skate 3 feeling, right? Everybody talks about Skate 3. Where's the next Skate? Where's the next Skate? I hear it all the time. So Skate 4, we do know is in development. It's been in development for a very long time. So there might be something there to show. I think that's a good pick there, Scott. Cool. Good idea, buddy. I'm going to kick it over with, I think Xbox comes out. Who comes out? Phil Spencer comes out on stage and reveals all Call of Duty games can now be found on Game Pass.
All of them.
All Call of Duty titles.
All at once?
Yes. They just drop them.
Oh.
They drop them all. Yeah, I don't think you hold back. I don't think you can hold back. It's Call of Duty. Call of Duty is one of the biggest IPs. They said it is coming. When? Right? Eventually. I think Summer Game Fest is a good setup. Now?
Yeah.
Now. You can download now every Call of Duty game on Game Pass. Drop the mic, walk off the stage. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a good night. Right? Yeah. Like I think that's where they're at with the Call of Duty franchise. I think they had the power and the bandwidth to do that. And I think the minute they bought them, this is what they were working with at Activision and Xbox to make this happen. And they can drop that at Summer Game Fest. That's a big move. When you take a look at what PlayStation's got lined up for this year, it's not much.
Yeah.
Right? So you've got 4 major titles already coming out this year, and then you put all of Call of Duty on Game Pass. That's huge. That would be huge. Yeah.
What about console reveals? Do you have any sort of predictions there? Because we were talking about PlayStation 5 Pro.
I put that as a prediction. I put that down as the PS5 Pro coming out.
Yeah? Is that one of your predictions? I didn't have that. That's a good one. You think it comes out during Summer Game Fest, Steve? Or you think it's announced with the release date?
I think it's going to be all the specs and everything about it and what it could do. I think because they've already sort of dropped a little bits of the teaser of it's coming, it's this, and this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was leaked, though.
Yeah.
Which means normally when it's leaked, then they try and push it forward to get it out before any other stuff gets leaked. So I've got a feeling, maybe a PS5 Pro coming out, like all the tech stuff to go with it and the software.
I think if that doesn't happen, or whether it does or doesn't, I think Xbox is going to respond with theirs. If that's Project Keystone.
But they could do a state of play as well. They could just drop one and we're doing a state of play next week, and then just concentrate on the PS5 Pro by itself.
You think Scott? You think Xbox has got theirs already in the tank, just backed up, waiting for PlayStation to drop so that they can drop right after?
Yeah, if they haven't, if that wasn't the plan, I think it is the plan as of recently.
Yeah, fair enough. Who's next? Like, this whole order thing got messed up pretty good today.
Well,
conversation.
I think I've done about 9, but I've got another one.
Okay, what's your last one?
I got about. Well, I still got 2 or 3 there because I wrote loads anyhow. But Silent Hill 2, like release date.
Oh.
Yeah, we did get a bit of a glimpse of it. Too much
There's
of a
no-
glimpse, some might say, but I don't think there was a date on that one.
There was no release date, so I wondered if it'll be when it's coming out, and then more game footage or something like that. I think it'd be pretty cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to show something or not show it at all until release date, because everybody was so mad about the combat. And myself, I wasn't mad because I'm just down for that kind of action. It looked like another Resident Evil game, but that's not what Silent Hill is supposed to look like. So I think I do foresee them, their PR trying to recover that image and fix that.
Very cool. Yeah. Interesting. All right, so I'm gonna recap what I've got. Steve, I wanted you to recap what you have. Scott, are you able to recap what you went through?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I went with Ben Studios coming out, revealing their work on Siphon Filter. Right? It's been 5 years. It's been a long time since we've seen them. I figure we'll see something more on Fable. We are gonna get the gameplay reveal, world premiere of Assassin's Creed Red. PlayStation's coming out with a new IP. Kojima comes out to talk about OD. Nintendo has no appearance whatsoever. Call of Duty comes to Game Pass. Ghost of Tsushima is teased. That puts me at 8 so far. Steven, kick it to you. What predictions have you made so far? You're 10. You're done.
Well, I've got more, because there might be extra ones on there you think, I forgot about that one. Obviously, I said Silent Hill 2, Wolf Amongst Us 2. I did mention Super Mario Odyssey, possibly if Nintendo do their thing. Superman or Wonder Woman. Project 007.
Yeah.
The Tomb Raider.
Okay, 6.
Possibly a Tom Clancy Splinter Cell remake.
Oh, please make that happen. 7.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, The Last Ronin.
With an asterisk of if this isn't whatever, then you had a backup. What was the backup for that one?
That was the Splinter Cell, was the backup for that one.
Okay.
June, the MMO.
Yeah.
Contraband by Avalanche Studios.
Okay.
As well.
Okay, so I'm gonna say that puts you at 9, because we're not gonna count the Ronin one. So I'm at 8. You're at 9. Scott, where are you at? What do you got for your predictions so far?
Well, I did have an idea about Ben's studio, but that was hopeful for a Days Gone 2, and yeah, it's more likely that you're correct on that.
Yeah.
I had Marvel's Wolverine.
Yeah.
And then following that, Guerrilla is working on 2 things. So you can count that as 2 or 1, depends on how you see it. They're both Horizon Online, an unnamed project.
Okay, so there's 2.
From that, I'm mixing up what order I went in now because we jumped all around.
We certainly did.
From that, Project Maverick being worked on by People Can Fly, and that may be Gears 6. Also, Call of Duty Black Ops Gulf War, Project Iron being worked on by Mercury Stream and 505, Metroid Prime 4, Donkey Kong Country being a possibility as well.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And Smash 7 / Kirby. Sakurai's working on something.
Okay, so you're at 9. Steve's at 9. I'm at 8. All right, I'm going to go next with there is a minimum of 11 world premieres at the showcase. That is my prediction.
That's a fun one.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's like world premiere. Now I'll be counting every time I hear world premiere. Yeah, go for 11. Go. Yeah. So there's.
I want one of those as a button. Remember the Staples button? That was easy.
Yeah, you had one.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, what a headshot.
What a headshot. Yeah, that's a shout out to Xbox there for sending me that one. So that wraps us up to 9. This is our last round, gentlemen. Last prediction of the Gamecast Summer Game Fest predictions. Ooh, I started, so let me start this one so somebody else can finish it. All right. Okay. So we gotta make a good one. I don't think they're ready yet. I'm gonna talk through it. I was thinking about maybe the next Ghost Recon game. I was thinking
Ooh.
maybe, just
Yeah.
maybe they have something to show, but I think that's banking a little too much on Ubisoft at the end of the day. I don't think that's what I
Yeah.
want to do. I don't think I'm ready for that one. I was then thinking leaning on the side of The Last of Us 2 Season 2 premiere.
Oh, yes.
I just don't know because of the strike if they're far enough along in development that they've got anything to show us at all.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? So, then this puts me in to my backup of Blue Point. This is my prediction. Blue Point finally makes an appearance to tell us what the heck they're working on, because they said it's their biggest project yet, and they've been doing this, that, and everybody knows this franchise, and okay, cool. Show me what you got. Yeah, nobody knows. They're so secretive, which is fantastic. But I think Blue Point comes to the table, so we get a gameplay trailer with the Blue Point logo. And then that's where the remake, remaster, I'm going to say remake. Blue Point's working on a remake of something we all love and adore. And they finally will reveal what it is at Summer Game Fest. That's my number 10. There it is. Steve, I'm kicking it to you. We're going to end off with Scott. So, Steve, what's your last prediction?
Ooh. I think we're going to see something of GTA 6.
Oh, how did I not even think of that? Wow, you think? Well, so here's the funny thing, right? Because today, like, we're sitting there hanging out like Scott and I always do every day, because we're talking about the Daily Show and we're working on the show and whatever. And as we're scouring through stuff, I come across GTA 6 trailer. It's 181 million views. I'm just like, wow. Do you think Jeff Keighley can pull something more out of Rockstar for like some kind of teaser? You really think that's what we're gonna get? Man.
Yeah. It's because it's not far away, and they would have already worked on some of it already. So even if it's again a trailer or even game footage of how good it looks, I think they're gonna tease. They're gonna give something that everyone wants, and everyone's just gonna go, "Yep."
Okay,
bring it on now.
Let me ask you this. Step it up. I want you to step it up. Do they open or end with it then in this case? If he gets GTA, you either open or you end with it. You don't just put it in the middle of your show.
No.
So what do they do, Steve?
That is a question. That is a... I think it'd be cool to finish it off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it goes up and down, then everyone waits for the last one, because normally the last one is supposed to be the top tier game. Everyone's been waiting for, the closer. And if they come out with GTA 6 and all that kind of stuff,
blow the ceiling off the place.
Yeah.
Wow,
definitely.
That's a big one, Steve. That is big. Huh. Dude, I hope you're right. Man, you got a lot of good ones. I'm hoping they're all right, Steve.
None of them will be on the list.
So that's your number 10.
I wonder if
Jeff
Keighley would have to keep them away from the Summer Games Fest just to not outshine everything else.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
I'll let Scott do his last prediction. Then I've got 2 or 3 more that I actually wrote down.
Okay, fair enough.
Some extras.
Yeah,
well,
just in case.
Mine is all dependent on Nintendo actually showing up. Okay.
Man, you put a lot of bank on Nintendo. Scott, I'm so sorry.
Hey, they might make you worry sometimes, but Nintendo is always there.
Fair enough.
Nintendo is eternal. But what I'm thinking is we're going to either see something about the Zelda show, movie. I believe it was a movie.
Ah, it's a movie.
As time gone on, I've kind of like lost little details about that here or there. I think this is just because of my fear of the Halo show. But I want Zelda to be handled so properly. But imagine that, the whole trailer, and then it cuts down to Link's face, and he says one word, and that's it. You turn the lights off, it show's over. That's done.
If Nintendo, he says anything, it's like Master Chief taking his helmet off.
Yeah.
I want it to just be him just go, hey, yeah, and that's it.
It might be. You never know.
If not, I'll throw an asterisk on there. Zelda in any capacity. So Zelda, I think it would be the movie in this case, but the Tears of the Kingdom, we're not going to get a sequel or a threequel to that one. Not anytime soon.
No.
But there's a few that have not been brought forward to the Switch. and that is Ocarina of Time. And Ocarina of Time is everybody's favorite game for half their life. And I think that's only a matter of time. I can't believe it's not on Switch now. And if it's not by the end of the Switch life cycle, again, I think this will be queuing it up for the Super Switch.
Yeah, nice.
Look at Ocarina of Time in in Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, can you imagine? Wow. Yeah. All right, Steve, you got a couple honorable mentions. We have about 5 minutes left there, guys. We
Yes,
got
there's not too many.
So, yeah, well, 5 minutes we can carry this. What else? What else were you thinking?
The Witcher remake. They're doing a remake of The Witcher.
Oh, the original. That's right. No, you're right. You were absolutely right. The original. Yeah. I forgot they were doing that. Wow. Yeah. I think they'd be. I don't know if they'd be ready to show anything yet. Do you? Coming off of Cyberpunk, I bet you there's another team already working on it, right? There's massive.
I think there is. Yes.
Yeah.
Cyberpunk's already kind of done, isn't they? Because I think they sort of mentioned they've come to the end-ish now. I know they still got the anime series and stuff like that, but as a game itself, I don't know if there's going to be any other DLCs coming out for it. Or
I don't think so.
That gives me a last-second prediction.
Okay.
Starfield. I think we're getting another DLC for Starfield. Shown off, teased up, whatever it is, right at the Summer Games Fest.
Do you think Summer Games Fest
they're not done with
or Xbox Showcase?
I suppose it would be valuable either way, but I think it would just keep Starfield into the public eye still.
As long as it's not a DLC that says you can only play it once you've completed the first game, the base game.
Oh yeah.
Because then I'll be like, I don't have that many hours to visit 1,000 planets. My next one is I did have Death Stranding 2, possibly, but we already mentioned that. But Silk Song. Is it a sequel?
Yeah.
Silk Song 2 is a possibility.
No, for sure.
Again, that could just be a date. Yeah, that could just be a date, a release. Senua's Saga, Hellblade 2. I think we'll get a date on that.
I thought we already do. It's coming in May.
Oh, is it?
Yep, it's already on the way. So we're gonna see that before we even get there, right? So
okay, I'll cross that one off the list. That's even better for me. Star Wars Outlaw.
Yeah, it was funny because I was a toss-up between do we see more of that or do we see Red? I think we see Assassin's Creed Red because we've already seen 13 minutes of that.
But Star Wars Eclipse
too, because that's why Quantic Dream, right? The team that brought us Detroit Become Human, Heavy Rain, Beyond
Studio.
They like what man? Can they tell a story? Holy crap! Can Quantic Dream tell a story? So I've heard like troubled waters over there. Is the thing preventing that game from I think really kind of getting to where it needs to be to see anything yet. So I just don't think they're ready yet. But
yeah,
I'm so excited to see what that turns into because man, can they tell us? That
looks amazing. And my last one was Avowed.
Oh, you think we
a
see
release
more of that?
date?
Yeah, because that's the funny thing, right?
I don't recall if that has one, does it?
No, it doesn't. That's the thing. Remember when we saw that showcase? Here's the 4 games that we're gonna get this year. No release date except for Hellblade. I'm like, all right, cool. And then, where's the rest of them? When are we gonna play this? When are we gonna play that? Nobody really.
That's what I think.
Ara.
That's what I think. There'll be dates on these.
Yeah, Ara doesn't have anything either. So, Steve, when do you think we play that Avowed? Do you think that's a holiday title for them?
Good question.
I
don't know. I think it'd be more the back end, nor the last quarter, possibly.
Yeah,
I'm going to predict November.
Is that what you predict? I predict these summer. I think it's near the end of the summer is when we get that one, and then Hellblade we're getting in May, right? And then so that's got to be their biggest title. Then you get Hellblade, and then you have that. Do they do the September release like they do with Starfield, or do we get into?
Hold on a sec. But if it goes in later, then does it miss the Game Awards to be nominated? Because that's always been an other issue. Yeah. That's another issue as well, where they've just missed that cutoff point of here's our game. Is like, but you're not being nominated because you've missed the entry.
I think that's like November cutoff though, right? So I think they have plenty of time to be out there beforehand. But man, they got to be in that nominees of the year, right? But guys, believe it or not, just like that, this is going to wrap up the show. Everybody, thank you for hanging out with us. As always, you can catch us live every Monday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, over on our YouTube channel, Inside the Game Official. Make sure you swing by, hang out with us, have a conversation, talk, and there's always something on the go over here. But until next time, we'll be back again tomorrow. It's ITG Daily, each and every day. Scott and I break down the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew. That's Steve. That's Scott.
And we'll see you inside the game.